Good morning, students. Welcome to e-learning class. Students, today in this video, we will continue the Unit 1 of History, that is the Nationalism in Europe. I repeat, in this video, we will continue the same unit, that is Unit 1 from history book, and the title of the unit is Nationalism in Europe. And today from this unit we are going to cover the following topics: Unification of Italy, the strange case of Great Britain, Balkans or Balkan issue, which leads to tensions in Europe, leading to First World War. So these topics we are going to cover, students, and in these four topics some long answer questions are there, one mark questions are there, and objective questions are also there. So I appeal all my viewers and my students to watch this video carefully and listen to my lecture with a lot of attention and concentration. Okay, students? Now, so moving to Italian unification. Students, by the middle of 19th century, Italy have never achieved unification, or I can say Italy was not a unified nation. By the middle of 19th century, Italy remained a disunited country. It never achieved unification. It was not a unified nation. It was divided into number of big and small kingdoms. Each kingdom is ruled by a particular dynasty, and all these kingdoms, they were regularly having conflicts among themselves in order to establish their supremacy over the other. Long back, when Napoleon Bonaparte was there, he attacked over these Italian states and brought these Italian states together into one union and established Cisalpine Republic. Which republic? Cisalpine Republic in it. And the people at the time, they were very happy and prosperous. I can say it is under the control of Napoleon Bonaparte of France. For a short period, all the Italian states, they were unified, and the people are very happy and prosperous. But you know, Napoleon Bonaparte was finally defeated in the Battle of Waterloo in 1815. So when Napoleon Bonaparte was defeated, then all the people in the states, these Italian states, they felt very happy. Why? Because from that day they lost the foreign control over them, or I can say they lost the French control over them. They were very happy. And once again, you know, after the defeat of Napoleon Bonaparte, Congress of Vienna was held in 1815, and once again Congress of Vienna divided this unified Italy into number of states and kept each state under different foreign countries' control. Clear? Now, so here, students, Italy was divided into 7 states. How many states? 7 states. Who divided this one? That is Congress of Vienna. So 7 states, out of which only one state, that is Sardinia Piedmont. Sardinia Piedmont was ruled by the Italian princely states. So Sardinia Piedmont is one of the Italian state which is ruled by Italian princely state out of 7. The north Italian states was under the control of Austrian Habsburg family. I mean the northern Italian states were under control of Austria, given by Congress of Vienna. Or Congress of Vienna gave Austria over the control of northern Italian states. The center Italian states or the middle Italian states were under control of Pope. We can say those states which were under control of Pope are called papal states. P-A-P-A-L, papal states. I mean states which are under control of Pope. However, the southern states of Italy were under the control of Bourbon dynasty of Spain, or Bourbon kings of Spain. Bourbon kings of Spain. So in this way, all the 7 states were ruled by different foreign countries' control. So once again, Italy met the same fate as it was earlier before the Napoleon's control was there over them. Even the Italian language had many regional and local variations. The Italian language had a number of local variations and many regional variations. Now, then who achieved this Italian unification? Who took up the task of Italian unification? That is the question. So students, I will say there are 4 important leaders or 4 important personalities. 4 important personalities who worked for the unification of Italy. They are Giuseppe Mazzini, we can say Joseph Mazzini. Giuseppe Mazzini, otherwise called Joseph Mazzini. Second one, Cavour or Count Di Mello Cavour. Third one, Garibaldi. And fourth one, that is Victor Emmanuel II. Victor Emmanuel II, he himself is the king of Sardinia Piedmont. Victor Emmanuel II is the king of Sardinia Piedmont. So all these 4 leaders worked for the unification of Italy in their own way. So first we will start about the Giuseppe Mazzini. Sorry students. Giuseppe Mazzini during 1830s, Giuseppe Mazzini had sought to put together a coherent program for a unitary Italian republic. I mean, Giuseppe Mazzini wanted to make Italy a republican country. I can say Joseph Mazzini is the father of Italian unification. He is called the father of Italian unification, or I can say is the spiritual and intellectual force. He is the spiritual and intellectual force behind Italian unification. So we can see he is the father of Italian unification. He wanted to see Italy a unified and republican country. For that he adopted a coherent program. He formed 2 underground societies. Underground societies means what? These societies are working secretly without the knowledge of the foreign control over them. Underground societies means societies which are working without the knowledge of the government or without the knowledge of the foreign rule. Namely, one is Young Italy. Young Italy is founded by Joseph Mazzini. So the Young Italy he founded in Marseilles, a place in France. Similarly, second one, Young Europe, which was formed at Bern. Bern is the capital of Switzerland. So with the help of Young Italy and Young Europe, he worked for the unification of Italy. And in the Young Italy, he gave membership to all those individuals who are below the age of 40. I mean, he gave membership to youth, because youth can work hard and they are ready to sacrifice for the sake of their nation. He believed that God has inherited nations to be the natural units of the mankind. So Italy could not continue to be a patchwork of small states and kingdoms. He had to forge into a single unified republican nation with a wider alliance of nations. Metternich, who is called the Chancellor of Austria, Metternich described, students listen this one, Metternich described Joseph Mazzini as the most dangerous enemy of our social order. That means here Giuseppe Mazzini wanted to unify Italy, and some of the northern Italian states under control of Austria, and Austria Chancellor is who? Metternich. That's why here Metternich enemy is what? Mazzini, and Mazzini's enemy Metternich. So Metternich, the Chancellor of Austria, described him as the most enemy of the social order. Now another person, Count Di Malo Cavour or Cavour. Cavour also wanted to unify Italy by his own methods, and for that purpose introduced railways in Italy to bring unity. Also he started a newspaper called Risorgimento, which is not given in your textbook. Risorgimento is a newspaper. Through the newspaper he worked for the unification of Italy. So he started railways in Italy. The unification of Italy owed much to the diplomacy of the Chief Minister Cavour. Actually, Cavour was he became the Chief Minister of Sardinia Piedmont. Okay, I mean he was appointed as the Chief Minister. He was appointed as the Chief Minister by that Victor Emmanuel II, the King of Sardinia Piedmont, to be the Chief Minister of Sardinia Piedmont. So this Cavour, after becoming the Chief Minister of Sardinia Piedmont, the Italian state, he worked for the unification of Italy. Okay, and this person died in the third stage of Italian unification. Cavour died in the middle of Italian unification. He became the Prime Minister of Piedmont in 1852 to 1860, and the ultimate task of unification of Italy was given to him by his king Victor Emmanuel II. Through a tactful diplomacy, since he is a chief minister, so through a tactful diplomacy or diplomatic alliance with France, I mean he made friendship with France. Here Cavour made friendship with France, and with his support, Cavour succeeded in defeating what? Austrian forces. Cavour is very clever. He made alliance with France, and by taking the support of France, he defeated what? Austria. And whatever northern states of Italy which are under control of Austria was taken by Cavour, or brought under the control of Sardinia Piedmont. In this way, Austria's control over North Italy was ended, and this he has done with the help of France. Another person, Giuseppe Mazzini. Giuseppe Mazzini is famous for red shirts. Red shirts is one of the army or red soldiers. So red shirts is nothing but, red shirts means what? It's a group of soldiers, 1,000 soldiers. It is formed by Garibaldi, and with this red shirts, with this army, he worked for the unification of Italy. Garibaldi, he was the central figure in the unification of Italy. Since he personally commanded and fought in many military campaigns that led eventually to the formation of United Italy. He has been called the hero of two worlds. Who is called the hero of two worlds? Garibaldi. Who is called the hero of two worlds? Garibaldi. Because of his military enterprise in South America and Europe. In 1833, he met Mazzini and joined the Young Italy movement. Garibaldi also became one of the members of that Young Italy and worked for the unification of Italy under the leadership of Joseph Mazzini. He participated in a Republican uprising in Piedmont in 1834. When the uprising was suppressed, Garibaldi went to South America and did several odd jobs. He remained there till 1848. In 1854, he supported Victor Emmanuel II for his effort for the unity of Italian states. In 1860, Garibaldi with his 1,000 soldiers landed in two islands in Mediterranean Sea. That is called Sicily. Sicily is one of the islands in Mediterranean Sea, and at that time Sicily is one of the Italian state. So Garibaldi in 1860 with his 1,000 soldiers, red shirts, landed in Sicily and captured the two small islands, and after that he has surrendered those two islands to Victor Emmanuel II, the King of Sardinia Piedmont. In this way, he played his role in the unification of Italy. Next one, in 1867, Garibaldi led the army to Rome. So in this way, he handed over the two islands to Victor Emmanuel II. Next, the another important person is what? Victor Emmanuel II, the King of Sardinia Piedmont. He himself worked for the cause of unification of Italy. How? In 1854, Victor Emmanuel II, or I can say in 1860, he led the famous expedition. Who? Victor Emmanuel II led a famous expedition to the thousands to South Italy with the red shirt army. In 1867, he led the army to Rome to fight for papal states. I mean, the states which are under control of, Pope, where a French garrison was stationed. Military was kept there. In 1870, France withdrew its troops. In 1870, France earlier gave protection to Pope. Now, France has withdrawn the support from that Italy, which was given to Pope. So, with the withdrawal of French army from there, taking the situation as advantage, this Victor Emmanuel II attacked on the papal states and brought Umbria and other papal states under his control. So, in this way, all the Italian states were brought under the control of Sardinia Piedmont. So, I can say it was under the leadership of Victor Emmanuel II. The unification of Italy was achieved, and Rome became the capital of Italy in 1870. I can say like this: who completed the task of Italian unification means Victor Emmanuel II. But worked how many? 4 members. And after the Italian unification, here Victor Emmanuel II only was taken the charge, or you can say he was appointed as the Emperor of United Italy. Victor Emmanuel II, after the unification of Italy, was appointed as the Emperor of United Italy. Now, main event led to the unification. Proclamation of Italy, so United Italy in 1860. The army marched into the South Italy and the kingdom of the two Sicilies and succeeded in winning the support of the local peasants in order to drive out the Spanish rulers, because the southern states under control of Spain. Okay, Bourbon kings of Spain. In 1861, Victor Emmanuel II was proclaimed as the Emperor of United Italy. The states of Tuscany, Modena, Tuscany is one state, Modena is one other state, Parma and the Papal states joined hands with Sardinia Piedmont. By March 1860, the entire central Italian states were unanimously united with Piedmont. Rome became a part of Sardinia Piedmont, and in this way, the final unification of Italy was also achieved in 1871. So, in which year unification of Italy was achieved means 1871. Now we will move to another one, that is the strange case of Britain. Today we are calling Britain or Great Britain, but earlier it was not the scene. Earlier the situation was different. So how the Great Britain was formed? United Kingdom, or can say United Kingdom or Great Britain, how it was formed? So this was not formed due to any revolutions, without any blood, without any single drop of blood. This was happened. This Great Britain was formed, or United Kingdom was formed. How? Some scholars, they always used to give the example. The best example of nation state is what? That is Great Britain. So Great Britain is the best example of a nation state, as scholars used to give all the time. And the result of Great Britain was not due to the revolutions, but it was a long drawn struggle and process. Due to a long drawn struggle and process, this Great Britain was formed or achieved, but not through revolutions. Without any single drop of blood, this was happened. Now, see, I will tell the history of the United Kingdom or Great Britain. There was no British nation, see the students, there was no British nation prior to the 18th century. There is no British nation prior to 18th century. The prime, or I can say the primary identities of the people who inhabited the British Isles. British Isles means what? ISLES. Isle means what? Here islands, a group of islands. So the primary identities of the people who inhabited the British Isles were ethnic ones like English, Welsh, Scots or Irish. English people, Welsh people, Scottish people and Irish people. All these people were there in that area earlier. I mean, different ethnic group people were there. Now, the growth of Great Britain, now how Great Britain was formed. The growth of Great Britain as a nation state, I mean, how Great Britain became a nation state. So, the growth of Great Britain as a nation state can be understood sequentially with the points given below, which I am reading now. Listen, students. As the English nation steadily grew in wealth, England became more and more rich and powerful because they had number of colonies outside Europe, because India is also one of the colony of Britain at that time. So the English nation grew richer, okay, and wealthy due to its colonization. So English nation steadily grew in wealth, and hence its importance and power was increased. Importance and power was increased. It was able to extend its influence over the other nations of islands. Since it became wealthy, since her power was increased, importance was increased. So with the help of power and money, it was able to influence the other nearby islands. The English Parliament, which has seized power from the monarchy in 1688. Listen, students, here. Long back up to 1688. In England also there was monarchical rule. Charles I, James I, Charles II, James II, like that. Some people used to rule over there. And the people of England also rose into revolt against the monarchy, and they ended the monarchy in 1688. Because in 1688 a very big revolution took place there for the end of monarchy, and the revolution is what? Glorious Revolution. Glorious Revolution took place in England in 1688, which successfully ended the monarchical rule. Hence, after that they started republican government. So the English Parliament, which has seized power from the monarchy in 1688, at the end of a protracted conflicts, was the instrument through which a nation state with England at the center or capital was formed. That means after the unification of after the formation of after the end of monarchy in England, then only what happened, England became nation state, and I can say, or Britain became nation state with England as the center or capital. Now, incorporation of Scotland in United Kingdom. When Scotland is an island, okay, when Scotland was incorporated means included in Great Britain. See, by the Act of 1707, listen students, very very important. By the Act of 1707, this act was happened in 1707. This act has happened between England and Scotland. So by the Act of 1707, between England and Scotland, resulted in the formation of the United Kingdom of Great Britain. That means when Scotland joined with England, by the Act of 1707, then only it came into what? Great Britain was formed or came into existence. It meant that England was able to impose its influence over Scotland. Now onwards, England will have control over Scotland, because Scotland was merged with England, so England will have influence over Scotland. Hence, the British Parliament was dominated by its English members. So in British Parliament or England Parliament, who are the dominant people? England people, not Scotland people. Now, the Catholic clans, Catholic people are more. The Catholic clans of Scotland or Scottish Highlands, many Catholic people there in Scotland suffered a terrible repression whenever they attempted to ascertain their independence. Whenever the Scotland people tried to get independence from the control of Britain, then it was highly suppressed by the England people. They were forbidden to speak their Gaelic language. So where was Gaelic language? So Gaelic language was spoken in Scotland. Very very important. Gaelic is the language spoken by the Scottish people, Scotland people. So they were forbidden to speak the Gaelic language or wear the national dress. They were not allowed to wear the national dress, and a large number were forcibly driven out of their homeland. Many Scotland people were driven out from Scotland when England took control over Scotland. Now another one, incorporation of Ireland into United Kingdom or Great Britain. Now, how and when? How and when Ireland was also added into Great Britain, okay, or United Kingdom. Listen, students, story. Ireland was treated in a similar ways as was Scotland. The way in which Scotland was brought or incorporated to Great Britain, in the similar lines only, Ireland also was brought under the control of Great Britain or United Kingdom. It was a country, Ireland was a country divided into Catholics and Protestants. In Ireland, two groups of people are there. Two Christian sects people are there. They are Catholics and Protestants. The English people supported the Protestants of Ireland. England people supported the Protestants of Ireland. Okay. And tried to establish their dominance over the large Catholic country. By supporting the Protestants of Ireland, they tried to gain control over what? Ireland. Who? England people. The revolt raised there. Hence the revolt took place between Catholics and Protestants in Ireland. Okay. Hence the revolt raised by Catholics in England, which was highly suppressed by the England people. So the revolt which is led by the Catholics in Ireland, the revolt was highly suppressed by the England people. After a failed revolt led by Wolfe, listen students, Wolfe is an Irishman. Wolfe is an Irishman. I repeat, Wolfe is Irishman. So he made an attempt against England, against the Protestants, but his attempt was failed. And his United Irishmen in 1798, the Ireland was forcibly incorporated into the United Kingdom of Britain in 1801. So in this way, Ireland was brought into Great Britain or United Kingdom in the year 1804. Ireland was brought or incorporated into Great Britain or United Kingdom in the year 1801. So in this way, a new British nation was formed through the propagation of a dominant English culture. Now listen students very carefully, these two lines. The symbol of New Britain was, the symbol of the New Britain were the British flag. Here the name of the British flag was Union Jack. What is the name given to British flag? Union Jack. And the national anthem of Great Britain was God Save Our Noble King. The national anthem of Great Britain was God Save Our Noble King. So this is the national anthem and Union Jack is the flag. And English became the language of all the three, language of the United Kingdom. Scottish people, Ireland people and here England people, all three people, they used to speak only English language. So in this way it was unification of Britain was happened. Now visualizing a nation. Visualizing the nation. Students, this is very, very important from one more point of view. Please listen carefully. Visualizing the nation. See, today in our country India, many Indian people we are calling Bharat Mata. Bharat Mata means they are comparing our nation with what? One goddess. But actually such goddess in real life or in reality does not exist. It is an allegory. What is mean allegory? Allegory means something that is imagination, but in real world such thing is not existed. Allegory is something that is not existed in real world. It is only imagination. So like Indians who are comparing Indian nation as a Bharat Mata, a female figure like that artists in the 18th and 19th century, artists in 18th and 19th century found a way out by personifying nation. In 18th and 19th centuries, many artists, they personified nation with a female figure. Nations were then portrayed as a female figures. The female form that was chosen to personify the nation did not stand for any particular women in real life. There is no any particular women in real life who is personifying the nation or comparing with the nation. In real life such things are not there. But it sought to give an abstract idea of the nation in a concrete form. The female figure became an allegory of the nation, an imagination figure or imaginative figure. In France, just like Bharat Mata in India, the female allegory in France The female allegory was christened Marigny. Christened Marigny is the female allegory figure in France. Christened Marigny is the female allegory figure in France. Her characteristics were drawn from those of liberty. The features of this female allegory of France, that is Christian Marigny, the features of this allegory is taken from what? The Statue of Liberty. And the Republic, the red cap. Here, I repeat, those of liberty and the Republic. Here, Republic is what? The red cap. Republic, the red cap. The tricolor, the cockade. Okay, like this. Another one, Germania. Germania is the female allegory figure of Germany. Germania is the female allegory figure of Germany. So Germany became the allegory of German nation. Germania Germania wears a crown of oak leaves. Germania, the female allegory figure, always, if you see the image in the textbook, you will see it is putting what? A crown of oak leaves. As the German oak stands for heroism. As the German oak stands for what? Heroism. Okay, students. Now, so we are able to cover up to this much only. Now, in next video, I'll discuss about the nationalism and imperialism. That is about Balkans and also the causes for the First World War. So, please stay tuned.